他にかけた人間はいないっす。
異議あり。くらえ。解剖記録によると。
Alright, so after long last, we've all Bree finally,
Yeah.
has watched the Ace Attorney movie.
Yeah,
I loved it!
We've seen it like 5 times?
Yeah,
each?
so it came out in 2012. It's an adaptation of the video game. I believe there's also an anime adaptation, but like Wyatt and I have long considered it like the best
Touchstone
anime movie.
Yeah, the best movie that fully incorporates the anime energy, the style, without going too far. It is the perfect balance of, no, this is a film, and this is also, heavily veined. It's the subject matter is anime, and it doesn't detract from anything. It's just good. I mean, I think everybody's first reaction to watching this movie is the opening scene, and they're like, wait,
going on?
this is actually what?
It's got like a sci-fi, like supernatural thing going, and then the comedy just like switches on, and it's beautiful.
I think the weird thing is, it's like, I know Ace Attorney, I've just never played it or watched it, but it's like watching this movie, it's like, you're watching a regular movie. It doesn't even feel like anime, it's just like, this is a legit movie. It's so, like...
It's the pacing.
Exactly.
It's almost like Edward Wright, where it's like, nothing is wasted. You're like, oh, somebody read over this, and like made sure every line matched the line. There's even scenes, just basic movie stuff,
Yeah, like in the way that like a Scott Pilgrim isn't, like an adaptation of a video game, but it is a video game movie, like in style and everything. This has that very much that same thing. It's like, oh no, I completely buy that this is like an animated Japanese, like, lawyer video game. Because that's the thing, like you were saying, it is just a good movie, bar none. It's got a very unique visual style, which makes it like really interesting. Because like, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I'm not a big like courtroom drama movie person.
I mean,
God,
so, like,
no.
It's a like super solid courtroom drama with this like stylization of like Ace Attorney on top of it, and it makes it really good.
Yes.
So like the core of the like story is really good in the mystery, and then like there's all of the style on top, and that's why I really like it. I know we technically caveat it being an anime movie, and like even caveating it kind of being a video game movie, because it stands on its own like so perfectly.
It's got very few flaws, and the humor is genuine. That's what really strikes you. I mean, the movie is funny because of the acting, because of the costuming, because of the writing,
CGI.
because of the goofy anime CGI sometimes, and because of the you said at one scene that was actually pretty cool. So like it knows
it is
what it's
genuinely
doing.
cool at points. I mean, he goddamn like interrogates a bird.
Yeah.
Like,
There's some good stuff in
so
there.
funny.
Solid.
Like the characters, of course, are all like super strong and stylized. And point, like the costuming and the way the characters all act, like really interesting. Like Larry Butts, like is just so on point as a like charismatic character.
They just push him to the limit, and that's the thing. They're not looking to, you said about this other character that's fully, like a fully fleshed out character. They're not trying to do something like really tight or like really like complicated. They're not tied
It's not
to
taking
anything.
itself too seriously.
Exactly.
Like it's not kind of overcommitting. You're like, okay, you went down that road because you felt like you had to.
It's like,
Instead, it's very loosey goosey. Like it does some anime trope things where like like everybody in the courtroom falls over when somebody says something stupid, and they even do like some like spin shots on things. But like the director is Takeshi Miike, who did Ichi the Killer, and he did the live action JoJo movie. But like in this movie, he clearly demonstrates he's like really good at being creative with the camera. If anything, I think like he really benefited from it being kind of like a cordoned off movie. Like he was creatively limited in the sense of like, well, it has to be an Ace Attorney movie, so like where can I just pepper in things being really just fucking cool?
Right.
Rather than like, oh no, this is JoJo, I have to make it really awesome.
There's no stress, I guess.
Yeah.
There's no stress, and you don't feel it. The actors feel very comfortable flexing, like, I mean, gold performances across the board, from even the most stoic, the judge character, and even the side characters, and especially, Ace Attorney. He does an amazing job, just with delivery of lines.
Whoever the actor is of Nick, holy shit.
He's got such a cute little cat mouth. Like
he deserves an Oscar. Like, first off, just the way the hair was spiked perfectly. Oh my god.
That's not easy to maintain, and he did it. He did
Man,
it.
that got to be glue, man. Like, spot
It
on.
looked like it was cemented on, for sure. And that's the thing. The wigs and the costumes had shape and color. I mentioned a couple times, like, why certain scenes stuck. because they went from really warm colors and then they went to cool colors. Like really, it sounds basic stuff, but it's like, oh my god, like that's all you gotta do.
And it came out in 2012, and it wasn't even like, oh, we just did blue and orange. It's like, no, they used like green and red. It was like, oh, those. You're not even like just like like following all the James Bond movies at the time. And I have to say, that's the thing that's kept it really cemented for me, is this movie came out in 2012. Like, we gave the Gintama movie a lot of credit, but, like, it came out in 2018, like, 6 years after this movie, which had the comedic timing and pacing and, like, visual style down pat.
It's true.
Yeah.
Those movies are about, I mean, we've said this, Ace Attorney is higher, and Gintama's close, but
no, Ace Attorney definitely is like the number one. I see what you guys are saying now.
It's just
I
so
totally
tough.
see it. Yeah.
we don't know why. That's why we're so excited about the JoJo movie, because it's the same director. We had so much faith, but I mean, I guess it's like you were saying, he got caught up in the stress of having to like sort of adhere to what is a very strict thing, or maybe he just swung
It's just a high bar. Like, I mean, like I have to say that's another like benefit this movie has, is like none of us played Ace Attorney before.
No.
So like to us, this is also like an introduction to it. So like we don't have any kind of like that's not how I perceived Ace Attorney. Like, so like it has that going for it, but like Gintama did it, I don't know.
It's not.
Just did it 6 years later. Like,
it's just not hard. I mean, we're just always blown away by how, like, there's just clever moments in the film, visually described, like just emotively described. It works, and you're like, okay.
At the end of the day, it works so well. Like,
it works.
It just like,
they don't go too far.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing.
The sum is greater than like the pieces. Like, it just ends up being a really good movie.
And its awareness is really what just works for it the best, because at the very end, during the credits, they go even a little bit further to show you what they could have done.
We get a little subway scene.
They amp it up a little bit more anime. Like, you're like, oh no, this is what you might have been expecting, but we also had a story. Because I guess that's part of the strength of the Ace Attorney games. I mean, I don't know if any of you guys have played them, but I mean, I'm guessing the story's dynamite, because they're like, this fell together perfectly.
Yeah, this felt like a full, complete kind of like world, but like still was able to be hyper stylized and kind of out there.
Yeah. So definitely check it out. I mean, I'm guessing it's a little hard to get your hands on. I mean, technically.
Yeah, I think they have Blu-ray and stuff out.
Yeah?
But
Okay.
check it out if you can, guys.
Yeah, it's our favorite.
Oh my god,
I mean,
love it.
any other live action anime movie that comes out, we're going to be putting it up against that one. We are.
It is the golden standard.
Yeah, it's
for
the bar
sure.
to beat. And that's not too much to ask at all.
眠れない闇